In the far distant future of 1999, the world will meet its end. That is, unless these brave souls with the power of a time gate can undo the events that have caused this apocalypse to occur. So come join us on the couch as Zellia gets her first experience into the world of Chrono Trigger.
Hey, welcome back to the couch.
Welcome back, everybody.
Alright, so it's been a little while since we last recorded on this. Do you remember where we left off on story?
I know that Mr. Frog got his magical blade, the Master Sword, if you will.
Yeah, his Master Moon.
Yeah, and we are now at the vampires, or Count Dracula's castle, because Count Dracula is the one who transformed him into said frog.
Yes, Lord Magus. So yes, you do remember that Glenn became Frog. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
I'm just using simple words.
You know, you're good. You're good. I guarantee for the couch potatoes here, it's not too long for them. Meanwhile, for us, it's been what, like about a month?
Almost a month.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less than that.
Only moron would try to kill something that's already dead. Hey, humans!
Well, time to be a moron. So, of where we are, because as the timestamp showed, we're about 8 hours in. Mm-hmm. What do you think so far with the story?
I think the story is really unique. Honestly, I told this to one of my friends. One of the best stories I consider is any plot point that has to do with time. So with this going back and forth between the future, past, and present, I just find that rather intriguing.
I'll agree. It is the story of time is it's a very fickle thing. But it's one of those, if it's done well, it is always an exceptional story. And this is probably one of the few I've come across that have done a very good telling of time within story.
Yeah. No, that's another thing too. It's like any plot that associates with time, you have to be really careful because you are, depending on where you start in the story and where you progress it within time is where you're going to run into problems if you don't do it right. Now there was like a couple books that I've run into that problem where it's been like it was either too confusing or it was just more of like I had to double check my facts before I like continued to read on because there were certain events that I thought took place when they actually didn't, so it just made it all the more confusing.
I'm stuck. There we go. I was trying to literally pick a fight so I can get some experience, but he literally got stuck between the skeletons. I was like, that's a problem.
But to answer the skeletons, oh my. But no, I think this is a rather interesting game. I just feel like it's such a shame we haven't had like an updated version of this yet.
There actually has been a few re-releases besides this one, obviously, that we're playing on as a PlayStation. As I said before, it came from the Super Nintendo days.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Sorry, I had a brain for like, wait, that's not right.
You're fine.
It originally was on Super Nintendo, got re-released on the PlayStation, then re-released on the 3DS. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right, that heals. The Shadow Move heals. I forgot about that.
Oh, shit.
And then re-released on mobile and Steam. I think those two were also in different order. Mm-hmm. We had a different guy who commented before on the channel that he recommends the Steam version. Mm-hmm. My only comment back was I've been hearing horror stories of the Steam version. The same horror stories I heard of the mobile. That is just, it's not right. It does not match very well.
Like, as in terms of...
Quality, game crashing. I heard a lot of horror stories is the best way to word it.
Oh, that's interesting. So, well, it's just more of like, considering if it's on Steam, I would never guess that it would have so many issues. Same thing when it comes to mobile, because of the way of our technology is anymore. It's like, you would think you wouldn't run into so many issues.
It's something
nowadays.
with the port. It's like they did a bad port of it, is from what I'm hearing. It's the game itself. You can't really muck it up. The game itself is its own glory, if you will.
Yeah.
But you can muck up a port where the game doesn't play well, where you can see the glitter that is the game, but you're stuck with muddy controls that just don't work.
That's
that kind of problem.
I'm trying to think of any other games that I may have experienced in the past where it's like, I hated the controls, I hated everything about it. It was just the vibe, everything. I know there has been a couple games like that.
Well, this actually hits to one of those for you. You said I made you try and play this, and you gave up on it because you didn't like the battle system. That's just more or less its control.
Yeah, no, that is very true. The battle system for me is just, it's not my cup of tea.
That's kind of why I've been controlling the game the whole time and having you just experience the story with the other couch potatoes around us.
Yeah, no, the story I have been enjoying. It's just the controls of the combat. If they weren't the way that they are now, then I would be more inclined to take the controller and just do it all by myself. But with this being the way it is, and oh my god, I was gonna say it's
again,
gonna stall.
This is also why I recommended the 3DS version, because it does do a high clean, but I don't know how to record a 3DS version for us to have that.
Yeah.
I don't think I have the proper wires for it. I might, but it's one of those, I don't know if it'll work.
Yeah, understandable. I was when I was talking to someone the other day in regards to the 3DS, and they were asking if I'd ever done mods, and I told them no, not that I'm aware of. I think they were just more or less curious if I did it with the Ocarina of Time, which I never have.
Have you oh wait, I know you. Yeah, I know who your question asked about that.
Yeah.
I will say, when it comes to modding console games, it's a lot harder. It's not doable.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier in the PC world because of just open sourcing, that you can get to the sources that the items are there, like the files that alter everything that you need.
Yeah. No, I figured as much. With the 3DS, again, I've never tried modding on that before. I've always just kept it as is. Like, I think the strange thing is I never heard of modding until we got our PCs, and which is really sad because we've only had our PCs for about like 5 years.
Shorter than that.
4 years.
I do know you've actually been introduced to modding before that, and by the technicality of it, because I modded my PS4. Because if you remember, my hard drive I have a hard drive that sits outside.
Yeah.
Yours has a just straight USB hard drive, external hard drive.
Yeah.
Mine, I actually had to get into the system and change the wiring there, so you could consider that its own mod.
Yeah, but I mean like mod as in like a video game or anything.
No, and it technically would be considered a mod at that point. That's what I was getting at.
But like, I think the first mod I heard of was either Among Us. Yeah, it was Among Us, and then I started hearing more and more mods in regards to like other games. I'm like, oh shit, I never.
Yeah, no, that makes sense of just general game mods that you have not really been introduced to.
No.
There we go. I need Cure Beam.
I was gonna say you are going to need to heal your party.
Yeah, I was trying to get to that, but the person who was attacking did not have a healing, so I was like, well, that sucks. No,
that's fair. It's fair, but no, with Ocarina of Time, and it's one of those, I feel like, especially this past weekend that we're on, that we more or less over. I feel like Ocarina of Time was definitely a big source, one of the general source of topics that kept being revolved around when we were like talking to friends or family. And I'm like, wow, that makes me really want to replay it. I know I'm playing Legends of Arceus so far. It's different in terms of you having to be a scientist yourself and going out and researching Pokemon, so I find that rather interesting. I'm still going to keep chipping away at it, and it's definitely going to take me time because of how much, in terms of research you have to do for each Pokemon.
The grind that is Arceus is a little annoying because that you do need, as you're calling out, you have to go get the... go catch 10 Cyndaquils, or go catch this so you can get enough. And it is definitely taking from like Pokemon Go mechanics and trying to mix them into the traditional Pokemon status, which it works. I definitely loved Arceus, but it was more of the world catching aspect. Oh look. I grow tired of this. Slash! Flee!
Sorry, Ozzie, but you can't help it now.
I thought you were going to stop doing that one.
It's one of those, if I can keep it going, I'm going to try. You fly-eating, tongue-flinging. Ozzie and the Jam!
Those can't not run.
One Mistrobe.
And I'm guessing that's going to go to,
Mistrobe, I think can go to anybody. I'm going to try, I think it's supposed to go to Frog as a normal. Let's see.
I don't see it.
Nope. There it is. It's the girl's female item.
I figured. Alright, it would either go to Bulma or the
yeah,
princess.
she could definitely use it. And if you hear growling dogs in the background, they decided that now that is a great time to play. You know, once we start recording, like they traditionally find.
Yeah, apologies in advance. We cannot control that as much as we would like to, but that is
Yeah, I don't want to yell at the dogs for playing, but I'm going to complain about the dogs playing.
But,
Welcome!
oh my god. It's the huge ass smile Ewan has on his face too that makes it weird.
On Dark Mail. Let's get that to Frog. Come on, game, you can do it. I believe in you, PlayStation! I believe!
Damn, it is having problems tonight. It's really running very slow. It sounds like it's having problems.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh my god.
Gotta believe. You gotta believe.
Well, you might want to skip that just a little bit. Just so.
Well, the
people
worst
are
is
not
now that's
worrying.
gonna go back now, has to go back to the game. There we go.
It's having its problems tonight. I don't know why.
There we go. How's this?
Nice, making it faster.
There you go. Alright, gotta time this one a little awkward. Ow! Ow!
Well, that
Ow.
hurt.
What the? Impossible! Alright, how much damage did I take?
Wait for it.
I'm probably at 1. That took a little damage. Frog definitely needs some items, or healing though.
Yeah, he does. He's hurting for his squirting.
There we go.
Yeah, that's.
That'll do for now.
Yeah, that should be fine. But no, it's Legends of Arceus is entertaining because again, you're doing this from a scientific aspect of catch Pokemon from different aspects, and also analyze their moves when they are either doing it during battle or not during battle. I know I've had that prompt come up with a couple Pokemon already. I've just been unsuccessful in terms of getting certain moves to pop up when I'm battling certain Pokemon, and it just not coming up. Especially for the Weasel water type Pokemon. I think it's Buzzle is his name.
Oh, Weasel?
Yeah, Weasel.
I can't remember what his evolved form name is, but yeah.
Yeah.
The one that's actually I found most entertaining with that, of that game in particular, was and I think you're about to be at the point where it does that. It has the battle mechanics that it does traditional turn-based, but if your character's fast enough, you can actually do two moves in one turn.
Oh, I didn't take that into account, but I am there. It's one of those. It's strong and light moves, but it's one of those. It's certain moves that can only do that, where they are. You can either make them strong or light for speed purposes. I haven't done that with any of my Pokemon yet. I will admit I did come across a trainer who more or less took advantage of that ability with their Pokemon and pretty much one-shot my Cyndaquil. So I was like, well,
yeah,
shit.
that'll happen.
Yeah.
But to me, it was a good spin on just trying to introduce a new mechanic.
Yeah.
And then as well, I think this is the one that did it, where they introduced that freeze no longer actually puts you in a basically paralyzed state, or not paralyzed state, but into an ice cube, yeah. But now introduces how burn does actually 50% physical reduction. Mm-hmm. Freeze, it does frostbite, which does 50% special attack down, mm-hmm. which I feel like is actually a lot better. Mm-hmm. Because that just itself, it feels weird that special attacks didn't get a decrease, but only physical did.
Yeah.
And then freeze is itself being kind of like paralyzed, where you can't do anything. It's like, once you get paralyzed or once you get frozen, there's no point. You're just screwed. Well, it's mostly in regular red and blue.
Yeah. It's funny, in regular Pokemon battles, I don't think, whenever my Pokemon have more or less gotten to the cryo state of, or been frozen, I guess you could say, they haven't been really frozen for very long. They're probably frozen for maybe at least 1 to 2 turns, for me that is, and then that's it. But, in all honesty, I've not really seen, my Pokemon come across being frozen constantly when it comes to ice type Pokemon.
Well, in original Red and Blue, the only way you can cure freeze was the frozen item, like frozen heal.
Oh, okay.
They would never thaw out. And even modern games, you can thaw out faster if you use the right fire move. Mm-hmm. And I think there might be a couple normal moves too. Huh. But you could thaw out on your own in the later games. They did fix that. Mm-hmm. But original, nope. That freeze was the worst.
Wow. That is... I didn't know that with Pokemon. You said Red and Blue?
The regular, the Gen 1. But Gen 1 also had a lot of...
crazy stuff that happened.
But it's also... You gotta remember, that's when the first game... It was the first game introduced to the series, so... Best way to say it is moving forward. It's okay, what worked and what didn't work here?
No, understandable. That's when Pokemon was more or less experimenting what to add and what to take away. Which I am excited about Pokemon ZA. Is it ZA?
Yeah, ZA. ZA is basically running off of what Arceus was. And doing the same thing. And I think that's honestly what they're doing with the Legends series, is they're introducing how do I word it? They're basically introducing what new mechanics we can do. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people have been complaining and wanting a best way to say is a more action-based Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Because the turn-based formula is getting really stale. It's not necessarily a bad game. Don't get me wrong. It is a great turn-based RPG to learn off of for anyone's first version.
Yeah.
It's fun on its own of just trying to constantly recruit. If you have a huge collection aspect, as the series called out, gotta collect them all. Oh god, dang it.
Wrong one.
Yeah. Well, it always rotates. I forgot that. Let's say that some of the audio completely cut out,
Yeah, it did.
but it's just running quieter. There we go.
And plus our dogs are being pretty
Yeah, our
loud,
dogs
so-
are being a little noisy. I actually took their collars off so we wouldn't have to hear the ching 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 of their tags. But no, as I said, Arceus introduced the actually going out into the wild and catching Pokemon in a more realistic, and I use that loosely, sense, where you could actually catch a Pokemon without actually having a battle. You can sneak up on them, get the jump on them in that regard.
Yeah.
It looks like they might be still doing that with this one. Hard to say.
Left.
Nope.
Damn it.
Yeah. I was trying to remember where the line was. Yeah. Go around here. Go around here. Dang it.
But no, that was actually my very first turn-based learning experience was actually with Pokemon. So funny enough,
That's a lot of people's, and honestly, it's meant to be the kids' first one because the dialogue itself, most of the characters talk in a very easy understand method. Now,
Yeah.
granted, if you look in a lot of the lore and you look kind of in depth as certain Pokedex entries go, it gets kind of dark. But as well, it's meant to be like a children's book kind of thing of a little bit of ridiculousness just to keep the kids intrigued.
yeah,
But it's just that it's meant as an easy read for kids to actually, best way to say is learn how to read better and be
Yeah.
more intrigued and wanting to read.
yeah. So it took me a while to more or less get intrigued to want to read all by myself.
Of course. It's like, I knew it can't be a straight shot, but he's got to have a blocker in front of him.
Yeah.
God dang it. But it's like, all right, I got hit by those sides. I'll go straight and see what happens.
I will say, the one game that I thought was pretty hard, and it's more or less I didn't know how hard it would be, but I still enjoyed it like crazy. I remember playing this game a lot, and that was Golden Sun.
I have never played Golden Sun. I have heard great things for the series.
It's really good. I just remember both loving it, but also getting irritated with like certain stuff with it. But still, I ended up loving the game. So it's one of those. It's a long. To me, it was long, but I could be wrong about that. It's been a while since I last played it, so it probably
God
isn't.
dang it.
It's probably maybe a little shorter than I'm remembering, but it was a really great game when I was playing it. I just remember my mom hating me for playing it, especially in our kitchen, because I was more or less trying to get my party to level up a lot, so that meant a lot of battles, and also I tried to get a lot of summons because I just made it my mission to get as many summons as I could in that game because I was always intrigued by them. So I was like,
I don't remember if it's Golden Sun that did it or if there's a different game. It's Golden Sun just comes to mind mainly because the name's Golden Sun. But there was actually a game that had on the Game Boy Advance that actually came with a solar detector. And if you actually you were meant to play this game outside.
damn it.
I kept running left, like, I wonder how far down it is. It was there. Ah, god dang it.
You are having a really great time of.
Anyway, where you had it was meant to be played during the day, and the only thing I know of it is your main character was basically carrying a coffin. And if you played this game during the day with the solar power, or solar charger, you were stronger. But if you played this at night, the enemies were stronger.
That's an interesting mechanic.
Yeah.
Huh.
So definitely encourage kids to go play outside, go be outside, but it's like, but you're kind of being counterintuitive by putting them in front of a game screen.
Yeah. No, I think that's kind of how I felt when it came to Pokemon Go. At first, I'm like, it's more or less pushing me to be outside and go visit other places.
I can argue with Pokemon Go being, it is meant to be more outgoing, be more check around the world. Because that's definitely what we utilize it for. Okay, it's not this one. But I mean, and that's not mentioning the how do I want to word it? The recent reveal of license change that Pokemon Go and Niantic did on user agreements. Did you hear about this? Because I know I've listened to more of the news and find out media stuff like that you don't pay attention to, or you don't get. Oh, you dick! That you don't get privy to.
No, I don't. I know that there was some deal that more or less occurred, but I don't know anything about it, honestly.
What occurred was that Niantic changed their, I guess, user agreement or whatever, however you want to word it, where you know how they were really pushing for people to use their phone's camera to try and catch Pokemon to get better rewards?
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you know what the true incentive was?
No.
It was actually using your camera to take photos and realistic shots so they could upgrade their mapping.
Oh god, of course it was.
So instead of sending like the Google truck around to go do it, why not utilize the people that are actually doing this for us anyway?
That seems
shady as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this wasn't found until way later.
Oh shit. I'm sure a lot of people were very happy about that.
That's a choice of words for it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. So that seems like such a big invasion of privacy that I would be like,
but since
thanks.
But here's the problem: since we all agreed to it,
yeah, then
it's too late. Yeah.
Yeah. Reminds me of that one sketchy thing with Disney.
Oh no, they're by agreeing to be part using Disney Plus, you have you revoke your right to sue us at Disneyland.
Yes.
Yeah, that I don't know if that one's held up in court, because I haven't heard of that one in a while. We have definitely, you and me, looked into it.
Yeah.
But that was when it was fresh and new. Because God, that was so bullshit. Yeah. But I think what it was going to be brought to court, or they tried to sue, had problems, and since the bad publicity, Disney said, "Fine, we'll settle outside of court," and I think that's what was left of it.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Again, I'll throw something on the screen if I dig into it. If I don't, I'll put a giant. Sorry.
Yeah. No, all I remember is that his wife, she was a doctor, if I remember right, and
yeah.
She even specified, she even talked to the waiter or waitress in regards to, I have a peanut allergy. I think that's what she...
It was some type of allergy. It might have been peanut. I don't remember exactly, but it was... She did a huge due diligence to make sure she was protected.
Yeah.
And called out like 3 different people, "Hey, please, do not put this in here. I can die." And everyone was sure, "Oh no, it's fine. You're fine. You're fine."
Yeah.
And yeah. I do know a bit of how Disney is trying to scapegoat out of it is under this BS, but it is a technicality that I will agree with Disney on. Is the restaurant that's there, although is on Disney property, is not owned by Disney, so you cannot blame Disney for that. That is one of the kind of skirt lines they were trying. So it gets like you're arguing really badly here, people.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where they're trying everything in their power to more or less
Avoid it, yeah.
yeah, not just avoid, but also present like an argument that would be valid in some way. It's like, no, this is not valid in any way, shape, or form. So it's like, if it's your restaurant and if you own it, or if it's on your land, then that would make
Yeah, it gets into a real bullshit technical.
Yeah.
And it's a bad rap all the way around. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Yeah. Makes me.
I'm not on the side of Disney. It's just one of those. Whenever I hear like those lawsuit stuff going on like that, I always kind of try and see, can I understand both sides of the coin, kind of situation.
Yeah.
And do I agree with either party is a whole other story half the time. But it's just in general, I can see it argued this way, I can see it argued that way.
Yeah.
Do I agree with either case? No, I'll probably agree with the guy over here, but I can at least see what foot you're trying to stand on.
Yeah. Makes me super damn happy. I don't do anything with law.
Oh, yeah.
So it makes me very happy in that regard.
I've had two friends who definitely could have been decent lawyers. Let me put it this way. Two friends who could definitely have been decent lawyers, but one of them I would never recommend for anyone who wants to actually not feel disgusting about themselves down the line.
Oh God. I know one of my cousins did consider more or less being a lawyer at one point, and I'm like, I am so glad that is not my job. Oof. So much legal shit to like go in with that, and there's so many laws you more or less have to remember or have to consider when going into certain cases. So it's like, well, shit. Yeah, no, that just sounds exhausting. For me, it does. Anyway.
No, it's one of those. Any job can truly be disgusting or exhausting if you kind of look under the microscope enough. It really is. What is your preference of work?
Yeah.
Best way is the best way I can word that.
Yeah.
I know, for instance, on my end, yes, I do prefer the paperwork. I prefer the give me the paperwork that no one wants to do, and I can be left alone in the corner, and I'll figure it out all the way through.
Yeah.
So I'm that kind of person. But yeah, once we get into legal jargon, then it's like,
This is not
less,
me.
please, less, please.
I'm only told to do this if I see this, and that's about it. So, I know, for me, it's one of those, I definitely don't mind desk work, just as long as I have work to do, then I'm fine. And as long as I can play music or something in the background, because I will say whenever I'm doing like anything in terms of like paperwork or like on the computer, I have to have that little bit of like, can you give me like background music? Just something to more or less fill that silence in the background that that I can hear and feel at the same time, because it's one of those that keeps me motivated to keep working at what I'm doing. So I know for a lot of people it's not like that, and some people can be distracted by it, but for me that's how it is.
I know from my end, I do need the music if work is getting heavy, but it's more of to drown everyone else out, because I'm tired of hearing them yap in the background. That's usually my problem.
Yeah.
It's like people are talking too loud, to where I'm more or less like I'm mentally trained of I need to hear people around me because I need to usually answer questions or I need to handle situations. So when I hear people talking next to me as I'm trying to solve a file problem, then I just get myself distracted, and then best way to say is ADD kicks in, like, oh, who's that?
No, for me, it's just, I just need something to fill that void that I'm hearing in the background. I'm like, God, this makes me feel very not squeamish, very antsy, in terms of like, well, I know I'm working, and yes, I'm sort of distracted, but at the same time, I don't hear anything in the background while I'm working, and that more or less is making me more antsy, and not in a good way. So it's like, I need something to more or less fill that, like, whether it be like jazz music or lo-fi music, I don't care. I just need something of that nature.
That takes a cake.
Well, there's no cake.
The cake's a lie.
Oh, I want cake. You know, I found like a recipe for caramelized apple cookies, and I'm going to try that.
I'm not surprised by you on that.
What do you mean, not surprised by it being on
I'm
that?
not surprised with one bit with you on that.
Well, I saw like a recipe for caramelized apple cookies, and I really want to try it.
You're always been the one that has to have the special food thing, can't have basic.
Well, I never knock original chocolate chip cookies or like regular brownies, anything of that nature. I will always go back to those as like I need a simple dessert. I don't care like how simple it is, I will make it. But there are moments when it's like, especially when we're getting closer to the end of the summer season, and it's like, yes, I should be thinking of caramelized apple cookies for fall, but it's one of those, the closer we get to fall, the more I start to see feeds of like, hey, here's some fall desserts, because they are trying to advertise for that.
Yeah, I'll admit I kind of don't get into the oh boy fall stuff. Though I can't say much. I do love pumpkin. But either way, most seasonal, like specialty on foods, don't really call to me.
Yeah, no, I think I've said it multiple times over, I love the fall. I don't care for the winter because it can get very damn cold, but I love the fall way more than the winter at any given day. I do love the summer, I do like the spring, but fall will always be my top season. Even when I was like talking to you earlier today, I said I was creating a book list for like the fall, and that was true, because it's one of those, I did that last year. I created a TBR of like books that I wanted to read throughout the fall, and I was able to get 100% of that list done. By the time it became December, I was like, well, shit, I need something to more or less do like a winter read, because I made fall such a big deal in terms of like reading that I just put that like out of my mind. But no, to me, fall will be that fun, will always be a fun time. So, and also look forward to certain festivals like the Renaissance coming into town, so, which I'm excited about.
I mean, fall season is I will say a little bit more enjoyable to go out with.
Yeah.
I am going to punch you. But no, I don't get the food appeal. But I'm not the foodie that you are.
Oh, I know. Well, one thing, and this was the funny thing for me today. So, me and Grim, we used to love getting raspberry mocha lattes from Starbucks.
Yeah.
Then Starbucks more or less removed the raspberry flavor.
Isn't that a spring thing?
No. They removed it permanently, like for about 2 years. And then, guess what I saw on my phone today?
They bring it back.
Yeah,
you do realize a lot of the products that they do to remove like that,
yeah,
is just this best way to say it. It's like the McRib. And people even question, well, why don't they just keep it around? It's mainly for the fact of because then they can just do this exact thing where the FOMO effect,
Yeah.
fear of missing out.
Yeah.
So it literally just goes to that.
And that's what pissed me off of that, because they're like, oh, it's limited time. I'm like, oh, so you're doing this as a seasonal thing now because people have missed this raspberry flavor. So now you're going to make it a seasonal thing to make a profit because you know people love this shit.
I don't know if seasonal would be the right term, but yeah.
I would consider it.
I mean, like, for instance, best way to say is Shamrock Shake it's seasonal. It's more of for March, so it's one of those. I think that raspberry might not be seasonal, like in summer or spring kind of thing. It just might be, here we're going to do it in this time window because we have a lull period for them to do.
The time has come, Ozzie.
Ha ha ha! I'm sure some Magus has already called for reinforcements. Wait until Lavos arrives! I shan't be defeated. No form of attack will break my barrier.
Pion's defensive, isn't he?
Yep. And he is not wrong. No form of attack will break his barrier.
But magic can.
That's a form of attack.
So you have to not attack?
Correct in one sense.
Ah, so it's the handles that you attack.
And they've been hinting at that the whole time. Come on, game.
I was gonna say,
Because he's been playing with these things left and right.
can they more or less work against you guys though?
Well, we'll find out.
But no, I know that I definitely want to get, like, unfortunately with the whole raspberry thing.
Watch where you're aiming.
I know with the whole raspberry thing, of course I want to get it, but only because I like raspberry flavoring, so yes, I'm gonna be a sucker for that shit.
I thought you were big in lavender flavored.
I love lavender, I love raspberry, and I love cherry. I also love the strawberry matcha that they came out with, which sounds like a weird combination, and trust me, it is. But does it work? Yes. And I can't explain how or why. It just does. It's a match that you would think, oh, that sounds pretty disgusting, Bethany. Well, I drank it, and I fucking love the damn taste of it. So I'm sorry if you... Now, I know me and someone else, we talked about how matcha is one of those flavors where you have to have, like, a certain palate for it. And not everyone is going to like the flavor of matcha because it's hard to describe. It's like tea, however, it's not. So, yeah, it's hard to describe in that sense. It's one of those, yes, it's tea, but with a certain flavor certain earthy flavor.
What's that guy's problem? Not Ozzie. We must hurry to magic this place.
Told you it's gonna.
It's hard to do, but it's really annoying to do it between Frog and Kitten because their voices are basically the same. Just one's a little bit more gravelly, one is
More basic.
Fair enough.
but no, I think we can call it here for this one.
Yeah, sounds good.
Catch y'all later.
See you guys.